This is part two to episode one of My Adventures of Superman, or My Adventures with Superman. And I wanted to talk about this scene right here with Lex where he's kind of like down on his luck. He's a little upset and pissed off because right before this happened, he was being told by the scientists that like he was the one that screwed up his information and his science and his technology, and it was the big reason why everybody ended up not liking him and why he couldn't get a job at this at the science company, even though the information that they're using is his knowledge and his expertise. So like when Jimmy comes in and talks to him, which we'll listen to this really quick.
Okay, so we didn't get off on the right foot the first time we met. You've got great ideas, but nobody wants to take a chance on them, right? Don't wait for someone to give you a chance. Make one. Carve your own path and find the people who will help you make those dreams a reality. And eventually, it works out. Take it from me.
This is the thing that I hold on hope for, dude, and why I keep making these videos and putting in the reps is because, like, eventually it does work out. At least that's the hope. Like, I mean, it's better than staying on the sidelines, wishing for things to be different, like wishing to have, say, the body of your dreams or have the job of your dreams or the income of your dreams or whatever it may be that you're visualizing in your head and you have been visualizing for the past couple of months, years, decades, whatever it may be. Like, you have to be the one that physically goes out and, like, carves your own path. I was talking about this with a dude on one of the podcasts. I don't remember if it was on this channel or another one, but him and we were talking about how it's just like, you have to go out and work. You have to go out and put in that work. I guess I was kind of saying that more than him, but it's just like, you can't wish for somebody else to come save you. You have to be your own savior. You have to be the one that goes out and like does the things that you want to do. You can't expect or hope or wish that somebody else is just going to magically come in. And don't get me wrong, like people will come in to help you out, kind of like Jimmy says, is like,
You've got great ideas, but nobody wants to take a chance on them, right? Don't wait for someone to give you a chance. Make one.
don't wait for somebody to give you a chance, make one. You have to be the one that like posts the videos. Like when Jimmy was posting Flamebird stuff in season one, he was just posting them just to post them. Like he never had any anticipation or expectation of like him being able to become worth the $5 million or something like that and being the head of like the Daily Planet at Flamebird. Like that was never his goals or his intentions. He was just creating content because he wanted to create content because he had things that he wanted to share. So that's exactly what he did. That's what I'm doing. That's what I hope you're doing as well too, because it's so much more empowering taking control of your life and living on your terms and living the dream, quote unquote dream that you have had within your own head. It's just you have to be the one that says picks up the phone, sends the email, watches the video, makes the video, goes to the gym, rides the bike, goes for a run, which I did a video a couple weeks ago, I think at this point in time, around like fitness and training, and you guys can go check that out whenever you're done watching this video. It's just you have to be the one that decides that like, okay, hey, I have this great idea to be able to help people in some way, shape, or form. Like me, prime example. I have this great idea. I see all these like concepts in TV shows or animes or cartoons or movies that I've been able to pick up from the knowledge that I've learned over the years. So it's like I might as well share these same concepts because they're in these shows and you're enjoying these shows to begin with. So like if you're watching these shows, you're watching them for a reason. You have an idea that like there's some part of this TV show or anime or movie or whatever it is that's reaching you on a deeper level, but like you might not find the subtleties that are hidden within these shows because they're there subtly. Like, I mean, it's the same thing with kids' TV shows. Like when you're a kid watching, let's say, Toy Story or something like that, you'll see a line and you don't pick it up as a kid, but like you come back and watch it as an adult and it's like, that was kind of a dirty joke right there. And it's like, what is this? They have these concepts and they hide these in the shows that you don't pick up on your first watch through, or if you don't have this information or you don't live the life that you want to live. Because as you'll see in episode 2, which I'm going to be doing some videos on that as well too, so subscribe to the channel if you aren't already to make sure you don't miss out on those, because there's going to be a whole series around Misadventures of Superman, or My Adventures with Superman. I like this series. It's good. It's on Adult Swim if you haven't watched it. But it's like there's going to be this whole rigmarole of content coming around with this type of show because there is hidden meanings in these shows. There's hidden meanings in everything. And Lex, he gets it. He understands. He's like, okay, like I have to be the one that takes control. I have to be the one that goes out. Like, sure, it might be terrifying. You might not have all the skills. You might not have all the information. You might not have all the savvy business skills that you need right now. But like I was doing a podcast the other day when I was doing sales as well too. I ended up kind of getting like scolded, shamed, kind of like I was talking about in the last video for like doing a live stream when I shouldn't have. And that's on me. Like I take responsibility for that. It's just afterwards, the great part is there's another dude that wanted to do another podcast with me where we ended up chatting for 2 hours, which if I didn't have the courage to go out and do that thing and pave my own path, then it wouldn't have worked out. Like, I would have just been staying on the sideline. And it's better to move in at least one direction. It's why bikes works. It's why I do so much biking. Because, like, the best way to stay, and psychocybernetics talks about this as well too, is like the best way to stay in motion and like stay like on your equilibrium on a bike is by moving forward and like chasing after your own path and like providing some sort of like insight or like sharing your knowledge and giving other people ideas like Lex got here, where it's just like, oh, I can take control of my life. It's just we've been conditioned, like I was talking about in the Fallout video, where we've been conditioned to believe that like we aren't as powerful as we think we are. We don't have as much control as we may believe that we do, when in actuality, we have so much more strength, so much more power, so much more capabilities than we know to be true. It's just we have been succumbed, like I was talking about in the last video, of other people pushing our own ideologies or their ideologies onto ourselves of what they believe to be true, when you know in your heart and in your mind that you can do way more than you've been doing right now. You know that you've been able to overcome insurmountable odds that people have never or would never want to put themselves in, like going fasted on a hike in the middle of the day in 100-degree weather after practicing yoga for 10 hours, not 10 hours, but like 90 minutes doing hot yoga, then going on a hike without any food, or like going on a 70-mile bike ride without any prior training, or say, there's one other, say like just doing crazy hard things, making 100 phone calls a day, going from like 0 to 10K a month. Like, you can do these things in yourself when you pave your own path. It's just when you have been conditioned by other people that like aren't as thinking as big as you, or don't have those same perspectives or beliefs or whatever it may be. That's what I was talking about in the last videos. They're always going to be pushing their beliefs onto you of what they believe to be possible. But you know different than everybody else because you've consumed this content. You've consumed other business content online. You've had conversations. You've gone out and you've tested yourself. You've paved your own path in your own unique individual way. If it's with the gym, if it's with biking, if it's with running, if it's with hiking, with meditation, with reading, with self-education, with TV, with any aspect, you have paved your own path. You have made your reality yours. The problem is you're still sometimes it's subtle, but it still seems to happen for some odd reason. And I work on it myself, and I know you're working on it too, where you still let those things overtake you. But it's like you don't have to let them overtake you anymore. You do have the strength to do what Lex is doing and what he ends up doing at the end of season 2. Like, he paves his own path, just as I know you are paving your own path, just as I know you have the strength and the courage to make it happen. It's a matter of staying consistent, dude. Staying persistent, persistently consistent. Remember that. And having the competence and the confidence to be able to maintain your level of like integrity throughout the process. Because like Lex, this is something that maybe you realize later, and I realized too. Like, he doesn't quote unquote do it for the right reasons, but like for him, he is doing it for the right reasons. For us, it doesn't seem like he's doing it for the right reasons. And that's the crazy part, is like we all have our own belief system that we need to follow and stick to. And what I was talking about in the last video is you have to go do what is right for you. You have to go try, test, fail, make mistakes. And I was saying earlier, me recording the podcast episode that I did within one of the Discord servers that I was a part of, that was a mistake, but it wasn't a failure. I just learned. It's just like, hey, at least I tried. It's better to try than wish and regret that you didn't give it your all, or try it at least. Because like you never know what could happen. Like, it could change somebody's life. It could be more impactful. It could change the perspective on things. And if somebody else is doing it, then who says you can't do it as well too? Wonderful. I hope you understood like how you can pave your own path. And actually, I'll give you one little applicable advice on how you can start to pave your own path. First of all, figure out what you want. Grab a piece of paper. There's a quadrant that you can do. It looks basically like, we're going to disregard the arrows, but basically there's a quadrant that you can do to figure out like what you want to do. And it goes into what you value. So figure out what you value first of all. Once you figure out what you value, then this is the duty. So like your duty is to either yourself, other people, other individuals in the world. And this is just a great way to figure out what you do value. Down here is your desires. The desires. This is the things that you desire, that you want, that like aren't necessarily maybe your inherent values. Like, they don't necessarily add to yourself, but like this could be like a car, a house, a job, a girl, a relationship, anything that you desire. Like, that's what you write down in here. Your values are what you believe and what you do stand for. Duties are where you like provide it to other people. And then in the last quadrant is like shoulds, because shoulds are shoulds. So like shoulds are this whole concept where it's like, I should go to the gym, or I should work out, or I should read this book, or I should not watch YouTube videos, or I should get off of TikTok, or I should do this, or I should do that. But it's like having shoulds is like, it's not a need. It's like, I should do this, but like you don't really want to. So like the way to change your shoulds into like a duty is by figuring out like how you can add your shoulds into a way that is providing value to others, basically. And then with your desires, like, so your desires can turn into your values as well. It's just a matter of like finding out the best ways to do that. And the ways to do that is by understanding that this quadrant down here, this lower one, is others. So like this is where others come into play. So like this is where like others have like put like their values, their beliefs, as I was talking about in the other video that we released a couple days ago. And this value section, and we'll change the color to red. This is going to be a lot thicker. These are like yours. So like this is what you yourself want. So like understanding that you can move like your shoulds up to your duties by like, I should be making this much money, or I should be making these phone calls, but it's like, why should you? And it's like, well, because I have a duty to my family, to myself, to my responsibilities, to like my landlord, to my mortgage company, to my lender for my car, to whatever it may be. Like you have to understand like you should be doing this, but you can change it to a duty of yours. And then your values is like, okay, I value nice things. Well, it's like, why do you value nice things? Because you could desire nice things, but you could also value nice things, because you understand that when you value nice things, like you get to do more exciting things. You get to maybe go on trips or adventures, or have nice cars or views or apartments, or eat at nice restaurants. And I'm not saying that this is going to change your life in any way, shape, or form, because it doesn't. It's just, this is how I've been able to find out that like you can create a life of your own, is by like doing what you want to do in this world. And why like what Jimmy says to Lex is, you have to have like your own path. You have to go out and get it, and eventually it will work out. Like I can go into the gym for months or years and move the weight. Until I change my diet, I might not necessarily lose the weight that I need to. Until I start changing how I eat, it might not necessarily impact my life in any way, shape, or form. Because like I could have a desire to have a fit body, but like I can also change the fit body into being a value of being like, well, I want to be somebody that can take off his shirt at the beach and have a six pack and like be toned and lean, and understand that like this is a great way for me to overcome maybe anxiety or depression, or like get out the anger that I had from like a girl that broke up with me or whatever it is. So it's like I could have a desire to have that body, but I can change it into a value, like a value being healthy. Whereas like you right now may just have a desire to be healthy, and it's a matter of moving them from the desire to the value quadrant. Same thing with like, I should be applying for jobs, or I should be posting content, or I should be going out into the world and like chasing and paving my own path. But it's like, that's not necessarily a duty, because it's like you're only trying to serve yourself. And us as humans, we are very, we like to serve other people. That's what I found out, and what I've realized with why I love doing sales and talking with people and making these videos, is because I am serving you. I'm seeing that this is impacting other people. This is helping you change your life, even if it's one person at a time. That's fantastic. That's how all great things start. Like I didn't get to the size that I am and have the strength that I do at the gym by lifting 500 pounds. I started by lifting a 5 pound, and then a 10 pound, and then a 15, then a 20, then a 30, then a 40. Then I just kept climbing and climbing and climbing until I got to a place where I was like, all right, yeah, I'm chill staying at where I am right now. And that's something that I know that if I can do that, then you can do it as well too. It's just a matter of you going out and like chasing your desires, and going out into the world and changing your desires into values, and changing your shoulds into your responsibilities or your duties towards others, because we are people that want to see other people succeed. It's why I love Superman and the Superman, My Adventures of Superman, because you get to see that like Lois and all of them, they're just so close. Like they're friends, like they support one another. Like I get emotional, as crazy as this may sound, at the beginning of the series, because I just see like they all want to help one another. Like Lois wants to help Clark, Clark wants to help Lois, Jimmy wants to help Lois and Clark. Like they're all just good friends, and they all just work out together. Like they're fantastic. One another brings out the other traits within each other. Like Lois, she's all like gung-ho, ready, like excited, whereas like Clark, before he becomes Superman, and I could do a whole nother video on this, maybe I will, but like Clark is like this nerdy little dude that like doesn't get it, where Lois is like all over the top. But then when like Clark becomes Superman, he's like, I'm all powerful. Like I understand how to take control. I understand like this is what's happening. But like there's still those moments where you're going to be nervous and afraid, and you aren't going to necessarily understand what's going on. But it's a matter of just taking the risk and taking that leap of faith, because you're never going to have all the answers. You're never going to have all the answers that you need to. But as long as you can handle rejections, like I was talking about, and you understand that, like, hey, those are just kind of part of life. It's being able to handle these rejections and understand that, like, it's not an attack against you. It's more of just like, this is what's happening. These are the things that are going on. And in order for you to overcome those things, you have to be willing to have the courage, the confidence, the bravado to stand up to, say, the enemy that's standing in your way. Pave your own path. And eventually with time, things will work out for you in the best. So I hope that helps. And I know it helps me. If it helps me, it's helping you too. I know it may sound a little crazy and obscure, but I'd highly recommend going and writing this down and just like jotting down your values, jotting down desires that you have, figuring out if there's ways that you can change your desires into values. I know I'm going to do this again. I've done this a couple of times. And then making sure that, like, just thinking about shoulds, like, I should go to the gym. I should not do this. I should do this. Well, whatever your shoulds are, figure out how you can change those into duties, because those are like other people's things. And we're wanting to get down to the roots of like what you yourself want and how you can pave your own path to, say, do things that Lex does, or do things that other people do, or like have control of your life instead of being controlled and dictated by what you need to do and living in the cave like I was talking about in the Fallout video. And yeah, it gives you a lot more freedom. It has given me a lot more freedom, and I know that if it's given me freedom, it'll give you freedom as well too. So with that being said, I appreciate you watching. So click that subscribe button, completely free. It doesn't take anything away from you. And I'll see you guys in the next Superman video that I end up doing, unless there's something else in between that comes up in the meantime. Otherwise, I'll chat with you guys in the next video. Appreciate you making it to the end of this video. I know it is helping out the right people and it's reaching the right individuals. So if you made it to this point and you enjoy this, yeah, just all I can do is say thank you. I'm grateful for the people that are coming back and watching these videos over and over again. And I'll chat with you guys in the next video. Talk soon.